Okay, this is take 3, and if someone calls me or interrupts me this time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I wanna talk about technology, and I wanna talk about not saying and ah and all those wonderful things we do when we're speaking, and to speak with some enthusiasm, because that enthusiasm will transfer through to your clients. I hope it transfers through to you right now, and I hope Dane's looking at this going, Anyway, technology is always changing. We have to embrace it, but I think most importantly, we have to show up. As I mentioned in a video on Facebook earlier this week, we have to show up every day. So I don't care if you show up at the office and do it, if you do it at home, if you do it before bed, if you do it when you wake up in the morning, but you have to show up and make time. So I don't care where it is, but you have to make time. So I think to start with at least 30 minutes of getting to know your craft. So that comes down to something as simple as making sure you've got the best camera on your phone. So what are you going to get? Do a bit of research. Find out which phone is going to have the best camera. I'm using the iPhone XS. It's the best camera you can get on an Apple at the moment. Why? Because I want the best quality that I can deliver and be filmed on and deliver for my clients. Make sure you get a shutter so I can turn you on and off. I don't have to move around anymore. I used to do this, poke, poke, poke. You need to know, they're catching myself again saying that. You need to know Instagram, you need to know Facebook, you need to know where your clients are, you need to interact with them. Is it a Facebook story? Is it an Instagram story? Is it a Facebook Live? Is it a YouTube Live? Is it YouTube advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, Instagram posts? Is it posting on other people's? Do we just like people's? Do we comment? Do we engage more? We need to practice and we need to be engaging with our clients, I would say almost on a monthly basis. So once you spend a half hour working on this technology, I would say you got to spend at least another half hour every single day submersed in it. And I wouldn't say half an hour all at once, because you can't actually do that, because then you miss out on so much other stuff. So it sucks, but you have to check in on Facebook and Instagram probably 3 or 4 times a day. Even if you only spend 5 minutes, try to be productive as you can in those 5 minutes. Say, you know what? Every 5 minutes that I spend on Facebook, I'm going to make 10 comments and 20 likes. And I'm going to go on Instagram and I'm actually going to make some comments. The cool thing about Instagram is you can get, I don't know, everyone wants 50, 60, 100 likes on Instagram. But what they really like is a comment. Because Instagram is flip, 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 like, flip, 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 like. It's not about comments. You typically don't see more than 1, maybe 2 comments. So comments on Instagram are huge. The other thing I talked about is LinkedIn. What does your LinkedIn profile look like? I guarantee most of them are underutilized. And like I said, LinkedIn is a huge resource. But LinkedIn, there's me saying again. I'm catching myself. I'm trying to get better at it. LinkedIn, doing it again. LinkedIn is amazing, but it needs to be used. If it's not daily, catching myself again, it's got to be used at least every couple of days. So you have to be there. You have to be present. You can't show up on a social media platform and then disappear. You have to be ordering, doing it again, switching hands. You have to be ordering some of the best equipment you can, tripods, microphones. You have to be on video. If you want to succeed at being in front of people, you have to be on video. If you're not on video, they're going to miss you. Yes, past clients, Sphere, referral sources, these are all fantastic. But can you imagine the referral source if they already know you because they've seen you on social media? What if your past client sees you on social media? They see what you're doing. They know you're providing valuable content. Said, there again. Well, I should have to pay out $10 every time I say it. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, be involved in technology as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Spend time learning. It's like a classroom and it's always evolving. If you think you've learned everything about it, there's going to be something else. For example, YouTube, pay-per-click advertising. The YouTube, not the YouTube pay-per-click advertising. There is that as well, but Google pay-per-click advertising. The algorithms for Google pay-per-click change all the time. They're changing every couple of weeks, so you have to be on top of that. You get a report every couple of weeks that talks about your Google pay-per-click, what's working, what's not. So you have to be on top of that too. Does this sound like a lot? I hope it is, because whoever does the most is going to win. Is this all of your business? No, this is part of your business, but it's a big part of it. It's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And as time goes on, millennials are growing up, they're buying houses, and this is how they interact. Your grandparents are on Facebook. Your grandparents are on Instagram now. So everyone is there. that's where you need to be, and that's where your presence needs to be felt. So I'm going to send this out this week. I hope you guys have a chance to look at it. I'm not going to have a meeting next week because I'm not around. I'm gone for Valentine's Day. I'm leaving on Wednesday. So you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll follow with meeting the week after. I wanted to try something a little bit different here today. I wanted to talk to you with a microphone, with a light, with the camera, with the tripod, with the grip, with everything all set up. I wanted to see, and basically it's just practice for myself. So it's practice, 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 practice. And one of my goals this week was to work on video content, and it was to work on my delivery so I can deliver better, so I've got some more enthusiasm, so I'm enunciating better, and I'm getting my point across, and really trying to, again, just be better at my presentation presence, and to motivate whether it's an agent to do better, whether it's a buyer to buy, seller to sell, not be monotone, not be boring, be a little engaging. So that's what I'm doing. Talking with my hands too. A lot of what we do is based on verbal communication, but physical communication. So it's not just what we say, it's how we say it, voice inflection, and then of course if we've got some movement, some dynamic to ourselves. So again, this is just practice for me, and if you get something out of it, great, but I'm hoping you are, and you're understanding that every single day I'm practicing. 21 years, I don't have it. I probably will never get it, but I won't give up and I won't stop. And I'm just trying to do things a little bit different and try and get better. And again, provide you guys with some content and build a rapport really with you guys. So I want to ask you some questions so that what are you guys struggling with at the moment? What sort of tech things would you like to have me research and get back to you on? What sort of what sort of challenges are you having in this market, whether it be converting buyers and converting sellers? Now, I hope this was able to show an example of getting cut off and going into the next scene, because Teresa called me, and of course I wasn't on Do Not Disturb, did the whole rest of the content of this video, went to go check it, and nothing was there. So very frustrating. Thanks, Teresa, but it's actually a good lesson for myself to make sure I've got everything done before I start filming, because there's nothing worse than getting some good content in, going back, and it's not there. So I want to build rapport with you guys. I want you to let me know any problems you're having, any concerns, any questions. If I was talking to an agent the other day and just wasn't sure about, there you go, lead conversion, another agent that wasn't sure about technology. So we need to talk about all that stuff, whether it's Facebook conversion, Facebook interaction, Instagram, like I talked about in the last video. And the neat thing about Instagram now too, one thing I would point out, and a lot of you know this, but you can see exactly who viewed your posts. Something you can't do on Facebook. You go on Facebook, you might have, say, well, you don't even know how many people viewed. So one of the cool things, Instagram stories, is knowing who viewed. Going through, you can put up exactly who's been there. You can message those people and interact with those people. Or you know that they've been looking at your story, so if you're scrolling through your Instagram page or your feed, then you can comment on there as well. So there's lots of cool things there as well. One other thing on Instagram, which many of you know as well, but the questions that you can ask. You can also ask, do you like this or this? And everyone can interact. I did one the other day about what book are you reading now? And people are interacting. I get to see how many people have seen it, and then talk to some of the people and interact with some of the people that are actually getting back to me. So it's kind of cool. There's lots of neat things, but it's never playing with it all the time. And any new things that I learn, I'll share with you. And any new things that you learn, share with me as well, because that's how we're going to get better. But at the end, I want to build as much rapport with you as I can. And that's going to be by asking you simple questions about how I can help you, how I can deliver for you guys. So let me know how I can do that, and I will step up every single time that I possibly can. Enjoy this, and I hope that you guys are going to bring these forward at the next meeting. Bring them forward before so I can touch on some stuff, because it's going to take a while. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to get through this all in one meeting. We're gonna have one meeting on just one particular small topic and really get into it. But if you let me know, I can do my homework and make sure I'm delivering. Thanks guys, and I hope you have a fantastic day. So back again in front of the camera, and I wanted to talk to you guys quickly about self-doubt. There I go with again. Let's try it again. Okay, so I'm back in front of the camera and I wanted to talk to you guys about self-doubt. I've been doing this, you guys know, forever. I've sold a ton of houses, but it doesn't go by without a week that I doubt myself. I doubt what I'm doing. I doubt if I'm doing enough. I doubt if I'm going to get the results I want, and it just compiles and it compounds, and there's nothing to get away from that other than consistent action, having some faith in yourself. But you guys, I know for a fact that you must experience this self-doubt as well, and you second guess yourself and you wonder, is this career for me? Is this for me? Am I getting what I should be getting? Am I getting the results I'm getting? You feel guilty because you're not delivering for your family, or you're spending too much time at work and not enough time with your family, and maybe you're getting the results but you don't have balance. There's all kinds of problems, but I go through the exact same stuff. So don't think that you're alone. If you want to come and talk to me about it anytime, come in and talk to me about it. How do I get through it? Morning ritual is a good one. Reading is another good one. Incantations, another fantastic way. My personal musts. Guys, you guys know I do this. My daily personal musts. It's Friday this morning, and you can see everything's crossed out. I'm just starting Friday morning, and I've got my morning ritual done, reading, exercise done for this morning. I'm going to write in my journal. I'm going to watch some YouTube motivational, some YouTube motivational videos this morning. I watched some Steve Furtick already this morning, and then I focus for 15 minutes, review my goals, and then I'll start in on my personal notes. I've already got my personal notes here, and what am I doing? Again, one of my things this week was to work on goals. What was my working on goals? Practice meeting material online with passion. So again, that's what I'm doing to try and overcome any self-doubt that I get. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in this business, it doesn't matter how successful you are in this business, you're always going to have that self-doubt. So embrace it, use it, and move forward in spite of it. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. So I'm here, it's Saturday morning, it is 8:20, and I'm committed, I'm here, I'm showing up. I'm not telling you guys anything that you wouldn't expect me to do or I expect of myself, and I expect even at a higher level of myself, because if I'm going to tell you guys something, I want to operate at a 10x level of that. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm actually giving you a role model or someone to emulate, or even telling you the truth, to be honest. So I really wanted to, show up, and every Saturday this year I've showed up at between 8 and 8:30 in the morning. And you think I'm nuts, and you think, well, I can show up later in the day, but there's value to showing up earlier in the morning. Why? I don't know. I can't describe it, but I can promise you, if you listen to me, you're going to get huge value out of it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about preparation and practice. I've seen a few realtors in the office, hit and miss, coming in, coming out. Some of them aren't real excited about the market. They want some leads. They're not sure where their next deal is coming from. But you know what they're not doing? They're not practicing. They're not prepared. So even when that deal comes, or even when that client comes, they're not ready. You know what I'm doing. Tuesdays, listing appointment, practice. Wednesday, listing appointment, practice. Thursday, listing appointment, practice. Sorry, Wednesday is the buyer appointment practice. Tuesday, scripts. Friday, scripts. 5 times a week I'm practicing. And I don't think I'm really good at it. I don't think I'm a great practicer. Later on in this video section, again, I'm going to get rid of those entirely by the time I'm done doing this because of practice. Anyway, later on I'm going to have a little quick sample of me doing a listing presentation. And it's kind of cool because if you're doing them on video, you're going to learn more about your voice inflection and your delivery. Now back to practice again. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is for practice, because I feel I've been letting you guys down at meetings. Preparedness, yes, I come in prepared every time for meeting. I've got my notes, I've got points I want to talk about, and I'm really, content-wise I'm there, but practice-wise I'm not. I felt taping the last one that we did, I was really letting you guys down in the delivery of it. So what I'm going to work on, and I've been working on it all week, is the delivery of the content, not just the content itself. And that should be a big thing for all of us to sit back and realize it's not always the content, but delivery. We can go into a listing presentation with all the content in the world, but without the delivery, without the practice, without the preparedness, we don't deliver that content to our clients. And in not delivering that content to our clients, we lose. Same with a buyer. It can be as simple as picking up the phone. I've got realtors in the office that want leads from me. When was the last time you role played with me, with leads, to find out if you're any good? You know what leads cost me? It costs all of us. They cost a ton of money. So if I give you a lead, if I give you a website lead that I get with a phone number and an email address, I want to know you're actually delivering, because those are expensive. And not just delivering for me, but delivering for you to make sure that you're living up to your full potential. Practice again. I'm trying with this mic today as opposed to my other mic, just checking, just seeing. I'm trying to find out what works, what doesn't work. Again, though, I'm here with the light, the grip, everything's set up, got the tripod, trying a different, trying a different pose or a different way of delivery to see if it has any impact. I'll get feedback from you guys, obviously, when this is done. I wanted to thank you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week. I say that at the end of all these, so you're going to get like 4 or 5 of these with me wishing you a fantastic rest of the week, on and on and on. But guys, you need to practice. I want to come in, I want to walk around the office and hear people role playing every single day. Can you do it? Is it hard? Does it take 5 minutes? Less than 5 minutes. I role played with Gerald the other day because scripts. I had to do it. It was Friday. I quit saying, I'm going to get this. Yeah, anyway, scripts with Gerald. He was in next door. I'm like, knock, knock, knock. Gerald, can I do scripts with you quick? We spent less than 2 or 3 minutes doing scripts. It took me from this level to this level in terms of how I felt when I left his office. I'm not sure about him. I hope he felt better, but it really just role playing for 5 minutes took me from this level to this level in how I felt about my day and how I felt about my next client. So if you're also not feeling 100% and you're not feeling fully engaged and committed, go role play with someone. I guarantee you're going to come out of that and you're going to really be at another level entirely. And if there's no one in the office, I'm always in the office. Drives me nuts, people that come knock on my door. Knock, knock, knock. Do you have a minute? No, I don't have a minute. Knock, knock, knock. Can I role play with you? Now we're talking. Now I'll give you a minute. Now we're doing something. Anyway, if you need me for a minute, just text me. It's fine. But again, have a fantastic day. I hope you're getting a bit out of this. I hope you're understanding about not only being prepared, but practicing so you can deliver. Okay, so I want to do a quick practice listing presentation. Before I get into that, I want to talk about pretend that you are the actual seller. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I hate when I say so I'm going to have to fix that. Again, I'll get better at it. The more I practice, the more I'll see it on video and I can actually fix that. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, before I get into all the wonderful things I can do to sell your home, which every agent is going to show you and tell you similar things, I want to focus in on the benefits because this is really the process, but this is the results. So before I start with the process, I want to show you what I can actually get done for you, and then I'll show you how I do it. So it's a little bit different than some agents. Most agents never go through this with you simply because they have a process, but it doesn't get the results. So they don't actually show you that. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there's a couple things I'd like to ask you before we get right into the results I can get you. And those I think are most important, and most realtors really miss out on that. Do you mind if I ask you a couple quick questions so I can better serve you? That's when you say yes, no problem. Wow, he's going to serve us. That's a good thing. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I want to talk about your goals with respect to the sale price, timing, and equity required. And I want to talk about your expectations. Expectations, I think, are huge. You have expectations of an agent, unless we communicate that back and forth and we have a great dialogue so we both are on the same page, we're not going to end up with a satisfied client. And that is, at the end of the day, not only do I want to sell your home, but I want you to be a raving fan. I want you to be referring people to me whenever you have the ability and using me again in the future. 80+% of my clients are from past client referral every single year. So that is super important, not only to you, but also to me to make sure I'm delivering for you. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what are your plans as far as sale price, timing, and equity? At this point, with those questions asked, most are open to dialogue. If they're going, we're waiting for you to tell us what you think it's worth. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm totally going to tell you what it's worth. That isn't an issue. But I would like to get as close to your goal as I can. So I'd like to know what that is to see if that's possible. Because if I can't meet your goals, I can't have a happy client. So there's no point in me telling you, if you give me a price, I get again, if you give me a price that's 20 grand over what I think it's gonna sell for, I need to know that up front. Otherwise, I'm gonna have an unhappy client. So after I go through that, then I talk about, so your home is your most important asset. Would you agree? Yes, they agree. So wouldn't it make sense, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, to hire a realtor with a proven track record of selling homes faster and for more money? Yes, that's a full sentence, full stop. So try that again. So wouldn't it make sense to hire a realtor with a proven track record of selling houses for more, try it again. So this is why we practice. Wouldn't it make sense to hire a realtor with a proven track record of selling homes faster and for more money? To which they go, yeah. Would you agree that past performance is the best indicator that you'd have of a realtor's probability of delivering on the sale of your home? And what I mean by that, before you answer, for example, if you have a realtor that sold 10 houses last year, chances are this year they're probably going to sell 10, maybe 15, but it's going to be in that range. A realtor that sold 200 last year, chances are they worked their arse off. They're probably going to sell 200 this year. The market goes up and down. It might change a little bit, but it's probably going to be similar. And would you would you use that as a good barometer to find out if that realtor is going to be performing for you? Yes. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in the last 720 days, 720 days. So try it again. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in the past 24 months, try it again. On film, it's a little bit harder, so I'm learning as I go too, because I'm going to watch this again. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in the last 24 months, I've sold 335 houses. Now, this is going back to 2016 and 2017, so these numbers are actually up now, but let's compare to the average realtor during that time frame. They sold 16 homes. So there's a huge disparity between the average realtor and the volume that I'm doing and the results that I'm getting. The average realtor, 50% of the homes they listed sold. 87.4% of the homes I listed sold. So pretend you're a gambler. You flip a coin, heads you sell, tails you don't. With me, you flip a dice or roll a dice, and 5 of those sides will land you a win. Only 1 you lose. So it's pretty good odds that I'm gonna get your home sold for you. 51 days versus 84, so I'll sell it a month sooner. Again, what does that mean to you? Do you want people coming and going out of your house for an extra month? For what? To have a 50% chance of selling it? I don't think so. And at the end of the day, they're gonna net you $2,400, almost $2,500 less per transaction. So average sale price to list price, I'm negotiating better for my clients, pricing better, and making sure they're getting closer to what they're actually starting with. So some people say, oh, you sell homes too cheap. No, I don't. It's taking me 51 days. If it's taking me 51 days and we're dropping $2,500, that tells me, on average, we're priced absolutely where we need to be with an 87.4% chance of having it happen. Those numbers don't lie. They just show that I'm pricing realistically where it should be in the market from a lot of knowledge and having 21 years experience selling over 5,000 homes. So these aren't meant to brag or show off or anything like that. They're just simply the result of hard work and intensive sales and marketing process. And that's something that I've delivered for my sellers for the past 20 years. And based on that experience, I'm able to provide you with consistent and predictable results with respect to the sale price of your home. At the end of the day, consistent, predictable results with respect to the sale of your home. Is that what you're looking for?